Blooming Truth whenever you happen to see this video. Okay, viewer discretion is advised. The title says flags, mantras, mudras, something like that. Flags, hand gestures, mudras, tricks, void of sovereignty. Okay, so as a targeted individual, at some point, as you are doing your own frequency work, your own trauma integration, all of that, okay, you're going to see an increase of something. And for a long time, you're going to think nothing of it. But remember, I always talk about things that are plausible deniability that looks just like everyday standard life happenstance. Now, I learned this, I was told this information by a sovereign feminine being that explained to me what the deal was. Okay, as I've been unraveling this theme, these patterns that I've been able to pick up about those that have been stalking and following me and my son around, or should I say, coordinated harassment, that's more sophisticated, whatever. Okay. It is designed at its basic primitive nature. It's designed to provoke paranoia or fear, to trigger certain things in the target. Okay. Now, this particular sovereign being explained, like it's actually tricks that's void of they don't know. They're not in alignment with sovereignty. It's tricks that they were taught by whoever their leaders are, to do that. But on top of that, you're going to see a theme of increasing people that seem to just come behind you, look like they're murmuring something under their voice, or like, like they're insane and they're moving their lips and they're not on the phone and you don't see a phone and you don't see any earbuds, or, what I'm saying, anything like that. No, these are witches and practitioners that they send to incant in your auric field to see what will happen. Sometimes they're sending them to try to create chaos and conflict, get you to forget things so that they can test to see if it's landing. Some of them will end up sitting, making calls, trying to figure out what they can play or what they can do once they get into your energy field. Okay, you're not imagining that either. Here's here is what you need to know, though. What's going to be supportive for you, some positive, what I was given by this sovereign feminine, I am going to share. Okay, well, in part. Whenever you finally see this video, that means you're questioning, like, what the hell is the people with the flags and shit, bitch? Like, nigga, all. She gave me a tell too. She was like, here's a trick. She's like, I'm gonna give you a tell. Some of them you're gonna pick up that they have no real connection or association to the said flags, because flags are sigils. It's a spell. And if they're trying to claim territory, okay, and if you become some kind of increasingly, some kind of frequency anomaly, what I'm saying, and you rolling around minding your business, but you are disrupting something. Okay, so it is to try to counter your frequency or whatever it is that you're doing or whatever you're holding, but it's also to try to install the fear and the paranoia. Yeah, random old lady coming up behind you, muttering something is a witch, and not a cool one, okay? Is a witch that was hired to just seemingly just so happen to show up and get as close to you as possible, to under their voice very lowly to try to incant. Okay. But this has been going on by now. By the time you hear this, you have already picked up all of the patterns, not just out necessarily in public, but depending on your dwelling spaces, government officials, different ones. You know who they are, and you know what they're doing. The sovereign feminine said, The way you really can break it is so simplistic and elegant. The thing about parasitic energies is it's just like a tantruming 3-year-old. I don't care how sophisticated they look. I don't care how many clusters of them there are. They're a tantruming 3-year-old. And what does a tantruming 3-year-old want? A reaction from you. One, not just they want something indicating that they can bother you, that they can intimidate you, that they can get to you. She said one of the quickest things you can do is actually laugh at the absurdity. Not mockery, but the absurdity, because it is absurd. It's tricks, void of sovereignty. The co-leaders taught them a little cool trick. Okay. She said, you can laugh. Laughter, now that may sound silly, but this sovereign being has educated me. Laughter is a frequency disruptor too. So if they are trying to, especially if it's true, or if you can tap into that, it will disrupt the frequency that they are attempting to inject. That's one. Number two, she said, if ever you see it or if ever you catch it, like, don't necessarily look away. It's not like you got to stare it down, but it's like that also breaks and disrupts, because whatever they're trying to do is, these are forms of fear and intimidation tactics. Ooh, I know tricks. My co-leader taught me. I know how to wave my hand. I know how to push the button. I'm reminded of a scene. It was, what was it called? Katherine Heigl was the leading lady, Life as We Know It. And the dude was, his job was in the basketball sports arena, up there, like they had to do the cameras and everything. And when he explained, I can't even say it without laughing, because when they had an interview about adopting a little baby and they both had to explain what they did, and then she was like, he gets to push the button. Basically, it was like a low level kind of clown, like, she's got this sophisticated restaurant thing going, or bakery, whatever. And then he was like, yeah, I get to push the button. So, these things, these hand gestures, these catchphrase words, the flags as they drive in military grade style in circles like they forgot to take Ritalin. But again, it's tricks. She said that sovereign feminine said it works only because when you're not in the know and of it, and you're dealing with the because one of the tools that they use is this whole overwhelm thing. There's a whole herd of us like roaches. Okay. And it's just little old you. Okay. So the not knowing, the fear, the overwhelm is what gives it the power. It gives the tantruming 3-year-old the attention. So you can laugh. It's a frequency disruptor. You could, if you catch it, it's not like you're going around looking for it, but if you happen to gauge what they're trying to inject, if you catch wind of it, right? Because it's difference between paranoia and searching and then you catching wind. You see where I'm going? So if you catch wind of it, those are two things. But then there's another thing. And now this last thing is also simple, but it depends on if that's where you are yet by the time you see the video. You can intend to visualize or visualize and create. It's not like you got to stop. You ain't got to get a certain posture. You don't, that's not what's necessary. But in a moment, whatever that is, you can even do it backward. Now that's a little advanced, and I'm gonna save that part at the end, because if you are somebody who knows how to use Reiki or any other energy modality, and you are privy to the fact that time is an illusion, then you can go backward. Does that make sense? That's a little next stage phase of it, because sometimes you don't catch it, and you can just sense in your control panel, which is your face, the control panel of the body. Okay, you can sense what they're doing. And this sovereign feminine says a very common target is the third eye, the brow area. So you'll feel tight tension in your eyes. Okay, they're trying to borrow your energy because they don't know how to do that and generate. They don't know how to tap into sovereignty, and so they were taught tricks by their cult leaders of how to siphon energy. So visualize, this sovereign feminine said, if you can do this, you visualize what she said, like a gray and silver, I think she said, bubble. But it's not just like, ooh, wishy woo. Like, that's really not what it is. It's an actual mirror ward. It's an organism. It is a vibrational living organism, just like a lot of the other living organisms that we can't see with the naked eye. It's a mirror ward. And what it does is, whatever that intention, whatever they were doing with their antics, with their performance, with their circus show, then it does what the mirror, it's a mirror ward in real time. So that means if you evoke that, whatever they were trying to inject, whatever they were projecting, whatever it is they're trying to siphon, is going to create some kind of a shield. So it's going to dissipate something, but then it's going to actually push it, or not even push, that's the wrong word, because it's a mirror. It's simply going to bounce. So as a byproduct, it's not that you do it, as a byproduct, then it lands into the projector. So whoever's doing the flag thingy, my bobby, the motherfucker doing the mantra, mudra phrase, whatever that is, they might not know. Well, some of them can sense it, and they'll make a call to somebody and be like, they'll sit there on the phone, be like, I did, and what, to get their next phase instructions of what else they could do, bitch. Okay. So you'll see an increase of this the more you're working on frequency. So it's going to seem odd, like, what is wrong? Like, you might, under your own throat, you might be like, what the hell, bitches? Is it bitches coming outside and the bitch? Some of these people are simply taking instructions. Okay, they need whatever it is that they have negotiated to get. Okay. And why am I sharing this? This is, whoever you are, when you see this video, this is going to confirm to you, you're not nuts. It is something to the stuff that seemed like rando. Okay. Like, you go down a side street, it's like, where's all these niggas? Like, You're like, but like I said, even if you're simply minding your business, this is the thing. This is the thing. As you're freeing yourself from something, when there's big time transitions, when they feel like they're losing their ground and control that they have paid top dollar to manufacture, all of it. By the way, a lot of the erratic that you see, right? Because many of you, if you're like me, yeah, you experience where it's like these niggas is on drugs, nigga. This motherfucker say them get nigga, hit that nigga, and woof, you know. These niggas is crazy, crazy, bitch, they crazy. But let me explain. They're not ADHD. I'm being silly and making a little joke so that maybe I can get you to laugh out of the ridiculousness that is which the hell they try to make for you. It is a military grade style of war. Okay? It's what you do when you're trying to terrorize and get to, the threat, yeah, the 50-year-old, 135, 40-pound woman and her 32-year-old Rain Man son. Anyway, that's erratic driving. It's not just people that's just maybe they're drinking and driving, they own drugs, they didn't take their Ritalin. No, that ain't what it is. Now let me explain. It's designed, they're trying to pull you out of your sovereignty, out of your own embodiment and coherence. No? And what's a way that you can do that? Create, what can someone create to force that? Loud noises, they call it street theater in this arena. And it looks like just a bunch of partying people. Some of that is orchestrated. Music holds its frequency. So it depends on what their intentions are and what they're blasting. These are all acoustic weapons. How can they create? Can they do? What kind of conditions without looking obvious to the world? That only you and any real discerning, keen, enlightened being would be able to pick up on. Some of them smoke their cigarettes or their whatever types of smoke. They infuse some of that with their spells, and that as they're driving erratically and fast and in circles and zooming and hitting the switch. Pulling up on the side, or you like they're gonna stop, like it's all kind of crazy. These are all the tactics, but it is to create what I've come to know in term as chaos and conflict spells. to make you, because look it, wouldn't you be dizzy? Like if you break this down just to the practical, like no matter what our belief system is, where we're leaning, if we just stick to like get in it and picture you're walking, because driving and walking may have a different feel. So the picture, you're on foot. Okay, you're on foot. Now, just in the natural sense of picturing that kind of activity, just in the natural, doesn't it seem like at some point it has potential to make you dizzy? Because you're just seeing all these cars swarming and bitch, just pulling your attention. Oh, look at me, look at me, I'm right here, I'm following you, I'm following you, I'm following you, I'm following you, I'm right here. And why would they want to do that? Why would they want you to be pulled out and confused and kind of like dizzy? Because then you can't align. Then you cannot align. Then in that you pulled out of yourself. This is why you're going to find most common themes. If they don't like these targets to have any real solitude and isolation, they attempt to fight this on every end possible. If the target manages to pull something out for themselves, they try within their means to convolute it if they can. It's not a by chance for that. They usually want the targets immobilized because it's easier to do the shenanigans if the target is reliant upon government, public transportation, and these things. This is something that it's easier to do versus the target or sovereign in a vehicle. They're still doing that to the targets and vehicles. It's just harder. It's harder because, again, they're encapsulated in their own vehicle. Chances are they're playing some damn frequencies, bitch. Good luck with that. Good luck, because they don't count. Good luck with that. If there's been any resources that's been granted to the targets, this is also why they'll start to suddenly pull back these resources. Suddenly there's no more funding. Suddenly there's a new process. Suddenly, this is where the plausible deniability kicks in full throttle. They start setting up the stage for their pretend we can't do nothing. Because it's then to create one of two things: a state of stagnation, frozen in fear, feeling, to get the target to feel like, well, what can I do? Or one of their good old favorites, which is the need to see the target going in circles, struggling to do basic shit that they could have helped with. In the name of seeing what else they can do while they can, or what kind of misery and uncomfortability can they squeeze out of this bitch. That's what it is. The isolation is to make the target feel alone, right? The system's way of making themselves look big and trying to make the target feel and look small. But they are afraid of you. As this sovereign feminine told me, she's reiterated some of the very things that I've said over the years. No system, 0% understand good and plenty. 0% systems, individuals, businesses, groups, organizations, families, companies. 0% are investing in such thing for someone that's weak, and basically easy to control or run. They don't need to invest all, bitch, of them. All of them, bitch. They don't need to do it. It's not necessary. And all we have to do, this is not about fluffing, making heads big. If we want to break that down, if we put our emotions and stuff, all the stuff, and put a pin in it and go on the practical side, and as a matter of factly as we could, okay. Let's say I'm going to use sports. I'm going to use boxing. Let's say the system is, let's call the system, you can, let's call the system the heavyweight champions of the world. Okay? They're the heavyweight, like the highest weight you can get. I don't know like all the technical terms. I used to love boxing and stuff like that, but I don't know what all the terms, but let's just say they are the heavyweight champions of the world. They got an impeccable record. Flawless. They have all the technology, all of the drugs, all of the secret knowledge that's kept from everybody. They have all of it. All of it. Now, as this heavyweight champion, do you think they're scared of a featherweight that just started?
She couldn't score, but Nestle won't score.
I mean, from a practical side now, just bear with me as I'm trying to make this grounded and practical versus like, what the hell? Yeah.
No. Just chill out.
Hold the telephone. I need to see this bad boy right here.
What are you doing?
I need this charger, this bad boy, because my I'm on this recording, and it's this bad boy is you heard? Okay. So if we could, like, instead of our personal emotions and feelings and thoughts about certain issues and topics and things, like, if we go there just on quick draw practicality, you're gonna be like, hell no, the heavyweight champion of the world, under the conditions in which you just said, fencing to be worried about
Forks?
no featherweight that just started the game, bitch. They ain't fencing to be paying for shit. They ain't calling no witch, wizard, warlock, sorcerer, diviner. Shit, they ain't calling the governor, the mayor, bitch, the helicopters. They not doing none of that. They not doing none of that. They have no need to do. They have 0% need to do so. They're not worrying about intimidating this little featherweight. They're not worrying about trying to get on the featherweight's nerve. They're not trying to figure out ways they can make the featherweight feel uncomfortable, bitch. They're not trying to see what ideas they can get from the featherweight. They're not trying to steal nothing from the featherweight. They're not coveting the featherweight. They're not getting ready to put their life on the line, their business, their reputation, and everything that they have fucking built for 30 years on the line for no featherweight. For somebody that's dumb, weak, stupid, green behind the gills, they're not going to be looking for who's the bombest witch. And they ain't going to call all hands on deck from all nations to travel to come to Compton or wherever you at. They're not even looking to invest. Their vested interest is gonna be, bigger. They're not interested. They don't care. They don't care. The heavyweight champion of the world. They're not. The featherweight is not even an afterthought for them at all. They look at them, oh, how cute. Because, they're in a different class. They're in a different weight class. They're not looking at them as secret competition. Even if the featherweight is talking shit, they don't even care about that because they're the heavyweight champion of the world. They don't care. They know that all they got to do is blow with a little bit of force and the featherweight is gone. They don't care. Why am I saying that? I'm trying to say that because I know as the targeted individual myself, I get it. It don't always feel, because you're human. And you're unraveling things in real time. It's not like you're given some kind of a PowerPoint bulleted presentation of all things nigga bitch full of shit. Like you're not given. Somebody say, why did she do that? Why did she have to say it? Why? It's okay. The bigger question is when we're going to start asking and challenging ourselves, why do certain things bother us? That's the deeper matter. Deeper matter. Okay. Flags. Hand gestures. Erratic driving. Randos coming and muttering things under their voice. Buzzwords, phrases, chants, incants, SIGs. Street theater, noise, slamming doors, hollering people. All of a sudden, it's Crenshaw on Friday night. The most boring street ever is all of a sudden Crenshaw. All of a sudden. You are, whoever you are, by the time you see this video. You are sovereign being that's working through, going down that rabbit hole. You Neo or Trinity or Morpheus. You paralleling to what was accidentally told us. Your pain, your trauma, all of that you feel, and what they're doing, and if you having children, that's been their bread and butter meal ticket to really, 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 that's a cowardly move, but it's one of their most famous moves. It's cowardly. And I won't rescind or retract that statement. That's to get the leverage in the upper hand, but that's the name of the game when you're dealing with parasitics that are not, you know, this parasitic types, whatever language. Okay. Their meat and bread and potatoes, meat and potatoes, all of that is contingent upon them being a terrorist. It is. Now, now, when you start to take away, even though you feel a certain way, as you continue to work on your frequencies and, you know, all that stuff, as I said, you're going to see the increase on their tantruming 3-year-old signature. And if they can't get to you, they're going to try your children. But at some point, there's going to be shifts with all of that as you persist in what you're doing.
So you're taking too long eating the chicken.
So, to recap and to wrap this up at 36:12. Oh, good. I haven't been here for 2 hours. I'm doing good, bitch. I'm doing good. Good. Okay. As you go about and you see the increase of all these, all of a sudden everybody is driving around with flags on their car, rando. And it seems odd, weird, and off. And you can sense something. You're not nuts. Laugh. You see somebody doing the coming up and down your street, driving in circles when they see you doing, okay, doing mudras, mantras, hand gestures. Look at it, laugh.
Thank you.
Break the frequency. Of what they're intending to do with that. And then, for those of you who are advanced, then you can start intending the silver gray bubble around you and your children pertaining to that. And if it's something that you didn't catch in real time, then another advanced move is sending it backwards, sending it to like throughout the day where that took place. So case in point, even now, they are doing certain things, attempting to get in my energy and already sense the parasite. Yeah, I'm aware. I can sense the parasite attempting, and this is going to be met with a surprise. I'm not worried. I'm also able to sense what they're attempting to do with my son. He has an open receiver. That's why the environment has caused him to become sick and more erratic than he is normally. I am aware of that as well. It's going to be met with something here in a little bit. I know what the witches on the property as well as this neighborhood. I know who they are and I know what they're doing.
Sorry for interrupting the recording. Did anything that came on this piece of chicken with stuff in it?
I think so, son. I'm gonna look at it for you because I think a little bit of the sauce got on there. So I'll look at it for you, okay?
If it doesn't taste right, then it's worth the deal.
I know. Okay, so there you have it. Things that you can do as you feel some of these visceral sensations and things. You're not nuts, so you're not crazy. You're not losing your mind. You are regaining sovereignty of it. And this terrifies the bejesus out these some bitches. Gotta go.
Thank you.